Welcome to MyWebUniversity.com, my website, and my two YouTube channels. At MyWebUniversity is the English channel, at is the address, MyWebUniversity is the name, and then also at MyWebUniversity-DARI for DARI channels. In today's session, I'm going to be discussing Introduction to Python Programming Language on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 version. And you can see here Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. So let me go through a slideshow for this one. As you can see, the title is Introduction to Python Programming Language. Last video I mentioned Introduction to Python Programming. Mostly I covered on Windows platform. The version of my Windows was 3.12, but the version of Red Hat Enterprise is 3.9. And on my Ubuntu, I have 3.14. So I'm going to show you when you have multiple versions, how you handle them using update-alternative also. And I'm going to show you a number of other resources that I have made it available for you on MyWebUniversity.com. So the title of this video is Python Programming on Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, RHEL 9, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. Full course 2026, free, and it is posted at the channel at MyWebUniversity. It is also posted on MyWebUniversity.com. And it is zero cost to students, developers, everybody on Earth that they can watch it or go to MyWebUniversity.com. All my resources, including the 50,000 technical documentation in PDF that I generated using a Python program from open sources that are for Linux, Red Hat, Rocky, Red Hat, Rocky Linux, Linux Ubuntu, Windows PowerShell, Windows Help for Windows 11, all of that, those 50,000 technical documentation for PDF or free on, and you can find it on Google by searching on Google for them, as well as you will find a list of them on MyWebUniversity.com. And this video, which was about more than 1 hour, I said approximately 60 minutes, but I covered a lot of stuff. So it went more than 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm more details on this discussion because I want you to just watch the video and then you don't have to go to another video. Once you watch it and you can repeat the same video, you will be mastering it to the level that I know it. I just know it enough that I teach at college level computer science courses, including Python programming, C, C++, Bash scripting, and compiler courses, a lot of database, Oracle, MySQL. So you can just be confident enough that you're learning from a subject matter expert, and I'm knowledgeable about that, so I covered in many areas on this one. For the agenda of this course is what is Python, first of all, history of and philosophy of Zen of Python, variables, types, and dynamic typing. So the variables are basically dynamic typing. You can change it on the fly, that's why it's called dynamic, versus C and Go and C++ and Java, which are static typing. This language is dynamic for variable declaration. Functions, first class decorator and generator. I'm going to talk about them. Object-oriented programming for Python, classes, inheritance, Dunder method. Dunder is double underscore method. That's why D for double underscore method. These are also called magic method or special methods that you could just have it on object-oriented programming, such as Python. Python is both functional programming as well as object-oriented. So it does support object-oriented programming paradigms such as polymorphism, abstraction, inheritance, and data hiding, and then also encapsulation. Control flow. Comprehensive condition and loops. The control of flow, if statement and while statement, for statement, branching and conditioning and loops, all of that one is covered in Python like every other programming languages, except the separators. It does not have a begin and end. It does not start a section with braces like C and C++ and JavaScript and Go language. You just do it colon by separating the section when you just do it, and then the next indentation has to be 4 characters to the right, and then you just follow it. Modules and packages and the standard libraries. There's a lot of modules within the standard library. When you install Python, whether you install it on Windows platform or with Linux platform, there's a lot of standard libraries or modules that come like OS, Path, SES, Math. All of those ones are part of the standard libraries that are coming within the Python IDLE, which is Integrated Development Learning Environment. But at the same time, you could install third-party modules and packages like NumPy, Pandas, and then TensorFlow. All of those ones are third-party that external libraries that are thousands of them. And pyp.org is the website that you can just consult for those packages. You can get documentation, you can get it. You can go to docs.python.org or you can go to MyWebUniversity.com. I have a lot of chapters dedicated for showing these packages, and I'm going to show you how to just find them. And the packages that I have installed at MyWebUniversity.com, like NumPy, Request, and Pandas, and other ones, you can still search it inside MyWebUniversity.com. But TensorFlow, for example, you have to install it in a virtual environment. Sometimes the version of TensorFlow, for example, is maybe 7 months old. You cannot get like a TensorFlow for Python 3.14, for example. And my version on Ubuntu is Python 3.14. I install usually the latest upgrades, patches, and everything. So in order to maintain that kind of compatibility, I redirect you back to pyp.org, where the source, they maintain it. So rather than just keep updating my version and depend on another third party, I just rely on the third party to provide you the latest and greatest version there. So I'll show you how to just get that information here. Popular libraries, NumPy, Pandas, Request, and FastAPI. All of these ones are within the Python modules, whether like NumPy, Pandas, Request, and FastAPI. All of these ones are external modules. You can install it on your system using pip install, and then the name of the module, NumPy or Pandas and other ones. I have actually 16-second short video that people love it, and then they so far it's like 29,000 views on it. That one, all it says is pip install NumPy, and requirement is already met because I had installed it. That 16-second, people love it. It's short, it just serves the purpose. But you can replace NumPy to pip install Pandas, and it will do the same thing. If it is not installed, it will install it. If it is installed, it will just say requirement already met. Similarly, pip install Request, similarly FastAPI, and so on. So modern Python version is usually 3.10 to 3.12 features on this one on Windows, but I have 3.14, and the one on Red Hat I'm going to show you is 3.9. And with update-alternative, you can give it priority, which Python version should be symbolic linked to the current version and which one has the highest priority. And question and answer wrap up. Some of the question and answer I'm going to talk about it in the video. Please watch the video fully. That way you don't miss the details of some part. But I try to cover a lot of stuff in a way that it is more obtainable or you can retain it by just consulting the video, or just look at it one time and memorize it if you're good at memorization. What is Python? Python was created by Guido van Rossum in Netherlands back in 1991, and named after the Monty Python. Interpreted language, dynamic type for variables, multi-paradigm. The multi-paradigm is for object-oriented. I mentioned abstraction or data hiding, polymorphism, encapsulation, and inheritance. Procedure language is like functional programming as well as object-oriented programming, and then procedure and functions are interchangeably used. Most programming language like C, Pascal, Ada, Fortran, all of them, C, C++, they are procedure language or functional programming language, including Go. But also some of them like C++, Java, and then Python, they also support object-oriented program, which has the 4 paradigms there. Emphasize readability. And then code is very easily read and more written, and with the PEP 8 kind of standards. So emphasize readability, meaning that your code is not like a Perl script that has in one line too many kind of filtering and too many piping there. And in Python, it's more like C, that you can just do it. Although if you're a Perl programmer, which is practical extraction reporting language, you can also minimize the number of filtering and coding per line. So you can assign it to a variable, and then you reuse that variable. 6 months from now, when you look at your code, you know at that line what did you meant, and rather than parsing it again and saying that what did I mean by this one. Yeah, you could do code reusability and for that purpose, as well as code readability, as well as comment it correctly, and then other people could read your code. And then Bash, PowerShell, C, any programming language that you do some kind of regular expression matching, sometimes you will get lost if you just did it in one line, 10 different changes. So make one change and then go on the next line and keep it clean. Keep it simple, they call it KISS, keep it simple and silly. And it's better than just make it confusing and other people read it, they don't like to enjoy it. Large ecosystem of libraries. Python is very good for the ecosystem of libraries, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data scientists for data science people, data science for data scientists people, web programming, automation, scripting, and name it, general purpose, in game, everything you could do it. But normally, like game, you want to write it in C++ or assembly or some programming that are close to machine language or native C, that you could just write it so it's faster compilation. You don't write it in the interpreter for game. Although some of the modules for example, NumPy is written purely in C, and then that is native code of C, because array and matrix and all that, the multiplication and factorization, everything is done at the code level with the C and array in terms of as if you're writing the program in C, C++ kind of code. So the data type is the same, and then there are homogeneous kind of data type, and the data is much more manageable. Regular expression is written in C, and there's a lot of them are written in C, and then it's fast there. That's why those modules, Pandas and other ones, you can do a lot of data sets, big data for data science, and then for data science you have also TensorFlow and other. For web programming you have like URL and request modules. There's a lot of them. I will show you some of them there. In fact, all my free PDF library that I wrote it in Python, I used a module called FPDF, pre-PDF, and then it has a lot of modules that you can just make PDF files there. If you like to make automations using Python, you can use that module for writing PDF documentations. And then the #1 language for beginners and #1 for AI machine learning professional. This was on 2024. These things every month, these things changes. So, and that is there. So it was created by Van Rossum, Guido Van Rossum in 1991. And then it was on #1 on the Taibo 2024. More than 50K of libraries on pyp.org. And this is the website. So more than 50,000, 500,000. 500,000 of plus. That's a lot. And then at the same time, when we talk about the Zen of Python, basically the PEP, PEP 8 and whatever version later on is going to be, it says beautiful is better than ugly. So your code is beautiful, obviously, rather than gibberish kind of code that everybody say, what is this? What is that? You don't understand it. It's write it beautiful, small, short, and then meaningful code with it has to be explicit rather than implicit. So the code itself has to kind of explain itself, saying this is what I mean by this, or I'm doing this, and somebody read it, and it's explicitly known to the reader. It doesn't have to just parse it and scan it and then say, oh yeah. You could read it, the code right away. Simple is better than complex. Obviously, the more complex the code gets, people get tired of reading your code and understanding it. If you write simple code, like similar to Python and C, C++, C is much more simpler than C++, but the more the code gets complex, the more it has to do something more efficiently. And if it doesn't do efficiently, why get complex when you could do it simply? Readability counts. So if your code is readable, everybody is going to like that. Is why it counts. Error loudly. So the backtrace of Python, every time you run a code, if the code fails, they give you a backtrace of where the line was causing the problem, and it tells you at runtime or the time that you run your execution there. I'm not gonna just go through these every example here because I did it on the other video, and I'll point you to the other video which I already did on page 1 of this presentation. But when I get to the YouTube channel and MyWebUniversity, I'll tell you which video I have covered this one. So you could just cut and paste this information from my this one. I will actually post a PDF version of this presentation also with the description. You can cut and paste this information and compile it, or in this case, run it as an interpreter. So hello.py, you say this is a common print hello Pythonist test, and then variable name, and you just say Guido, and then here is 1991 version is awesome, and then awesome is a Boolean variable through set to this one, and then you just write this fs string, welcome to Python, and then within this brace, you write the variable version. So the version would be replaced to 3.12. Name is Guido, and then the year is 1991. And then when it prints this information, multi-line string. This is the message that say Python is simple, powerful, beautiful. This is just a string message. If you print the message, it will print Python as simple, powerful message. This double quote, triple quote, or with double quotation, triple of it, or with single, triple it, they all start with the double, then you have to end it with double. This is a multi-line common in Python. You can also use 3 single quote with 3 single quote closing it. Here, here I just use the printf statement, built-in function, no imported needed, handle any type of. So every time you use Python, this print is a standard part of. There are certain functions or methods that are already coming with the Python idle. So print is one of them. And sum is another function, like average. Some of those ones that they know you don't have to import like a statement or a standard IO or IO stream to do a print or fprintf or print line on Go import format or any of them. Python, they know that you're going to use this print statement, they just allow it. For math, if you're using sum is already part of the standard built-in functions. Built-in function, when you just go dir on built-in function, you see all of these functions listed. So for those ones, if you want to do sum, you don't have to say import math in math.sum or import math as m.sum. You don't have to do that one. You use sum and it is there. But just be careful with some of the functions that are built in versus the math libraries. They may have different arguments and different parameters or different syntax. Just make sure that when there's differences, understand them. Comments are always with pound sign, and then I showed you that triple line comments, which you could say 3 double quotes or with start and end. And then the fs string is a special kind of function rather than the format with 2.217 of Python. They replaced it with a very nice, simple, readable code saying that fs string. F and then the either double quote or single quote. If you start a single quote, you close it with single quote. Inside the fs string, you could do something like this: braces, version, and then the variable replacement would be there. These ones you can also do expression like 2 + 2 or 2 × 3 or 2 divided by 3. Any variable that is actually a Python valid expression, you can replace it inside these braces. Similarly, like here is already 9091, that will replace it. There's another function called raw, R. R function is similar to fs string, but raw is just making like, if you want to just treat your code, like in C, on Windows, you have C:, double slashes, or C:, 1 slashes. If you want to tell the Python code that treat this string literally as it is, don't interpret it, then you use the raw function. But this is F for formatting function, and then we used to use on 2.17 and 2.27 version the format function. Now it is replaced with fs string, starting with 3.6 of Python. So fs string is more readable format and expression inside this. And then this is the double quote multi-string comments I showed you. No semicolon is needed. This is not like a C or C++ or Java, that if you don't put it, terminate a line with a semicolon, it will complain. But this one, you have brace, and instead of braces, you have colon. So you just tell Python, if you use a fs statement, what's that condition is matching, you put a colon after that one to separate your code. So this is about it on this one. And this one, terminal REPL. So the Python hello words, you can see here the whole thing. And here you could say Python inside the interactive read, execute, process, and learn, or whatever is the P, I forgot the name. It is read, execute, program, or process and learn. So Python 3, you just say 2 + 2. and then it gives you a number. 2 mod 2, 2 and divided by 2, sum of 2 plus 2. You could write their function like hello is the string dot upper, you change it to upper string. Hello dot lowercase, hello dot title. Hello, every string has a lot of methods associated. This is the class that is object oriented. So when you just define hello as a string, automatically it has a lot of the attributes that you can use, a double underscore method that you can use in a lot of methods that are associated for that one. In order to know that objects associated, you say dir slash left parenthesis, right parenthesis, that object name. And then it will just do it. If a variable is called name and you do dir name, name is a string, it will tell you the class type of a string for it. All the methods and attributes and exception and everything is related to that. If a method is, if a variable is x is equal 42, is the type integer, you just dir of x, you could see that whatever you can do with x of type integer, then you can just see the methods and attributes of it. Similarly, you have data type of initializing it initially x is equal 42, but then you can change x is equal 10. Yeah, you'd reassign it, but then you could say x is equal some other string or some other floating point numbers. Anything you can do dynamic changing on the data type. That's all I'm saying is the data type. It doesn't have, like if you say name is equal Python, you can assign it to another string, but it is meaningful to just give the meaningful variable name rather than just saying x and then you just say x is equal name or x is equal. Why didn't you use the word name? Because that's a string telling it whatever the value of it is a string. So flag is true, and this is Boolean data type, true and false. Nothing is none, and none type is like null. And then type hence Python 3.5, optional but great. Age, you can see that you can do age colon int is equal 3.5 and up. They also allow you the optional colon with data type, but you don't have to do it. You could just say age is equal 25, score is equal 9. This is more like a Go language syntax. So greeting is a string hello, and that is also assignment. And that greeting becomes a string in a hello. If you just say greeting is equal hello in a string, automatically it is a string type. And then here we are talking about big is, you can also put the double underscore, underscore for a big number for readability. It makes it much easier to say this is 1 million rather than count the number of zeros. If you have 9 zeros, 1 billion, then you put another underscore and 3 zeros. Much easier to read it. You can also assign binaries with 0b. For binaries, like 10 is 10. And then hexadecimal, also you can just do FF. This is 255. When you use the colors, 255 is for a color that gets set. Then you can say for red, green, blue, you can assign 0FF, 0XFF, and hexadecimal value. Or 255, just a decimal number. Complex numbers or a real number plus a magic number. That's what is called a complex number is. Python supported, Go language supported, a lot of languages support the complex number. Dynamic typing, we already talked about it. None, we already talked about null values. And here I said Python null, only none, false or falsy, and zero and empty list or falsy, unlike Ruby. Ruby is a good programming, it's a web kind of interface programming language for web. And then I have some chapters dedicated for Go, Java, C, C++, Python, Ruby, Node.js, JavaScript. All of those ones on my MyWebUniversity, I have 43 chapters. Imagine I have at least 9 or more programming languages that are covered in detail. So you should learn a lot from this website. That's very dynamic. I'm growing very fast, hopefully with a lot of students and developers joining and growing to this, joining the channel and then making contribution and helping the community. By sharing, we all care, and then you share your knowledge, everybody learn from you, and then they will be thankful at a later date. Type hints, def, greet, and then you can also do this syntax of assignment to do integrate development environment tools, but not enforced at runtime. Immutable type, so for like tuple is immutable. Some of the variables like numbers, you cannot change a number. 5 is 5. So int floating point 5.5 is also immutable. It's read only when it says immutable. And strings are all immutable. So hello is immutable. If you want to change it, yeah, you can change the variable to say something else, but hello is just hello. String tuples are immutable. Tuples, unlike list, you can assign it once and just reuse it. Those are good for read-only kind of variables that you read it. So some variables on the list and dictionary are not like tuples. Tuples are all immutable. List, dictionaries are set or mutable. You can see there in this one, list or dictionary, list comprehension, set, and they're all mutable, important for correctness. Everything is object. So a number is an object because with number dot some digit, you could say, for example, 42 dot bit length, you could get 6 bytes. So that is saying the size of how many bits are there, 6 bits, or the size of an integer. Same as Ruby. Unlike Java primitive, Java primitives are different, and then also the Java variables are kind of they're objects, but at the same time, variable in Java is different, meaning that you could just assign him static variables like integer, character, string, and so on. And that is the nature of different languages. Types of Python, string, hello, Python. So here S is defined as hello Python, S dot upper will write it in uppercase, S dot split because the space is there by default. If you don't, if you put a comma, you split it by comma, and then it will put it into a list. And this S dot sub 0 will assign the value of hello, and then S sub 1 will assign the value of Python, and that's how it is. And when you print S05, then it's going to write hello and the first from the first element of this 5 characters. This is called slicing, colon 5. And then this one is -1, reversal, sorted in reverse order. Length of S, you can get the 14 because that's all, there is 14 characters altogether, including the spaces and comma. Collection mutable. Collection, for example, if you just create a my list, notice the my list start with a bracket, but it has a number and then a 2 and then which is string and then another number and then a Boolean variable. So you can have a list within a list, a tuple within a list, a dictionary within a list. Like JSON format, you can create a dictionary and then you have assigned an array or a list in it. Similarly, in Python, when you create a list, you can have a dictionary inside of it. You can have list within list or tuples within list. Here you are defining a tuple with the left parentheses and this one. This is read-only, ordered immutable. In the order that is not going to be changed. Here, the order you can change it, swap it, pop it, push it differently. But here, once you define this is a set, unique 1, 2, 3. This one with brace, it is a set. This one is left parenthesis is a tuple. So different, and bracket is a list. Left parenthesis is a tuple, braces set, and dictionary is key value pair. So this is a dictionary with brace, but then you have a key value pair together. The key assigned to a value, n is assigned a value of 1. That is a key pair value, we call it. And dictionary dot keys will give you the list of keys. Dictionary dot items will give you all of this one. Dictionary dot values will give you the values. Those are magic method, or in this case, the dictionary type of methods that are available for class dictionary. Type conversion, now you have int42. You can convert this one by integer. So this is a string, but then we just did it like a casting in C and C++, Java. You usually cast it by writing the string and, as an argument to the int function. And this one, you convert the floating point 3.14 to a string 3.14. List, this one was a tuple 1, 2, 3, and then you just use the list to convert it to a list. Now this one was mutable before. Now it is a list that is immutable, meaning that I'm sorry, this one was immutable. Now it is mutable, meaning that you can change it. You can say one less sub 1 is going to be having a name rather than 1, or 5 rather than 1. So you can modify it. Boolean sub 0 is false. This is Boolean sub 1 would be true. And then there's also default arguments. We can talk about def x. You can assign the variables of a function. X is there, but default argument y is equal 10. So this is a positional argument versus when the parameters are defined, you have args with position and then keyword args. This is like argv sub zeros. Args is in C is args. Star args, and then keyword args is this is the double pointer and this, and then this one is like a dictionary. So a keyword values arguments. If you just want to get the value of arguments sub 0, you use arg. Sub 1, you will do this one. But if your argument has a name and assign a value, an age, assign a age value, then you want to use the QW args, keyword arguments, keep pair value arguments. This is like a dictionary. Decorator syntax, sugar for function, decorator function, used for logging, auth, and caching timing. And then we have also generator yield pauses execution and return a value. Return yield pauses execution and return a value. Return on next memory efficient. This is generator is like for large numbers or large kind of looping that you want to do within your code. And then instead of just generating all the numbers at once, you just call the next method, and then it will just based on memory, it will give you the next number that you're looking at it. This is more memory efficient and more faster and speed up. So memory efficient for large sequences of that one. Usually NumPy, and then a lot of C and matrix multiplication for Java and other ones. They are using similar to generator within the loop itself. First class functions or objects assigned to a variable, pass as argument, return from function, stored in a list. That is that. Object-oriented programming, as you know that you use the word class. In this case, the object or the class name is animal. And then you have a class variable called a spatial count, and that is a class variable. And then you have inside like a double underscore and net. This is like a constructor in C and C++ and Java. I mean, actually C++ and Java. When you're declaring a constructor, here you're using the constructor as a net. double underscore init. This is called magic method, also Dunder method. So this is a function, and it's multiple programming languages called constructor or instance variable. These are instance variable. When you instantiate this one, you use this constructor to create an object of having name and age. So self.name is getting the value of name, self.age is getting the value of age, and then animal.species count. Every time you instantiate it, the number of animal grows with how many species so far you have instantiated. And then def define, this is the function speak, the self, that object, which is a method, cat, dog, anything, fish, they could speak. And then if it is the object is fish, they don't speak, then you could just put a kind of message saying that I don't know how to speak. But if it is a dog, you could say they speak, and then right here return self.name makes a sound. So self.name cat makes a sound. And then here the class method, this is the decorator that you're doing, class method, def count CLS. Notice that this variable is a class method. And then return CLS.species count. That will just return the number of it. And then a static method, this is a valid age. Age is no self CLS. This one returns 0 if age is 0, and then the age has to be between 100 to 0. Otherwise, the person or the animal doesn't exist. So this is a Dunder method. There's a lot of defined methods already. One of them is underscore init, which is this, and then the other one is a string. Another one is equality, and then length of it, and then special method that define Python behavior magic method. Class methods add one and says receive the class CLS, not instance. So this is based on the class. Used for alternative constructor or class level operator. Then a static method, no self or class, and just functions in the class namespace. Used for utility functions. And data class, add a data class auto generate. These ones are representative and equal and like Java, record to go construct. So some of these ones you have to actually know those other languages to see how they implement it, and I just reference it there. Control point, and the if statement, for example, here, else if statement, the score is equal 85, then you just compare the score. If it is greater than 90, notice this colon is a separator, then you move 4 colons, and then you just do it. So no braces and no begin and end, but this is how clean it is, saying that this is the separator, right here is the separator, and then this separator, and then your code ends here. Ternary condition, sometimes you do the analysis statement with one line. You check the pass if a score is greater than 60, else fail. That's how fast you could do. Indentation, I already explained here. For statement is not explained here, but I'm going to do that. Python for all iterator over sequence, no C style. So there's no C style syntax like this. But there you say for num and range of something, or for num and a list, colon, and then do something with it. Enumeration is similar to C and C++ and Java. They all get a number and get index, and then based on the index, you and the value together, no manual counter needed. In match 3.10 version, structure pattern matching. A lot of these ones with the match 3.10 and a later version supports it. Comprehension, list comprehension, a one-line list. You can define a dictionary. This is a little bit faster than original list. So you can do if statement, you can do a for statement within a list dictionary. You can do it. Watch my other videos. I have already explained this one. But still, this is nothing in terms of speed. compared to NumPy module itself, the way list in metrics and arrays are defined. So this walrus kind of symbol colon, this similar to Pascal and Go language. The Python also support that walrus X colon expression and return a value in one step, while chunk colon equal sign f is the file descriptor dot read is the function. You're reading 8K and then process the chunk into this parameter. So within one chunk, because of this assignment statement colon this, you just executed multiple execution here. This one is a case statement, and then for loop. You can see here I mentioned the for loop that in C you don't have this kind of for statement. C, C++, Java, JavaScript, all of them Go language that supports this language. But with Python you have for the item and then in a range and colon print. For item value and enumerated. This is I comma value. Enumerated would be like almost like a list that it comes from enumerated. You say for key comma values in a dictionary, you could do that one. And then now you print the item and then the value. For key v, this is key and v for value. In my dictionary print f of k and v. I just told you and then I saw the code there. So while a statement, while condition do work, obviously while is like every other statement in every programming language. If the condition becomes true, then you execute this statement. Less compression and comprehension Python. And remember that I said you can create a square x to the power of 2. And you could do a cubic x to the double power of 3. And then you could do encore 2 also does that in Python. And then you could use math modules also inside here if you defined it. So here it says for x in range of 10, this is going to print from 1 to 9. In this range, it doesn't cover the last number. So 0 to 9 is to the power of 2, basically. If it's 1, it's 1, and then if it is 2, it's 4, and it's 3, it's 9, 9, and 4 is 16, and 5 is 25, and so on. So even, this is evens. If you want to just print out the even numbers, notice that x for in range of 0 to 20 up to 18, this one will just print fx module 2 is remainder 0, and so it will you will get 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and up to 18. Here, if you just say not equal to, that would be odd numbers. And then this is a matrix multiplication, I and j for x and range. This one, notice this range 3 and 3, they have to be same size in order to multiply these two numbers. And then in two for a statement, one after the other one, then you could just do this one. Notice the bracket for this one and then the bracket for the last one. So you could do that one. And then words, if you want to change it to upper for W and text split, every text that gets a split, you just change it to uppercase. This is also list comprehension. Dictionary and set comprehension, you can also do the dictionary here. So x colon and then x to the power of 2 for x and range of 5. This every x get a value of it, and this is a sequence for dictionary key pair value. Unique sequence, you could say x to the power of 2 for x and this unique range. So whatever is the number, you just minus 2 will still be 4, minus 1 will be 1, and then 0 would be 0, and then 1 would be 1, and 2 would be 4. So because it's to the power of 2, it's all of them are absolute value of them. Generator expression lazy. Total sum, so this is the sum function. You could do a lazy kind of looping, x to the power of 2 for x and range of that big number, assign it to the total. you can get that one. We talked about Walrus and other ones already. This one is module packaging popular. What you do with modules, import OS. OS is the operating system, sys is sys module, and path lib. So this one you do from path lib, import only path. From date time, import date time and time delta. From collection, import a counter and default dictionary. From typing, import a list and dictionary and optional. Your own modules, you could say from my module, whatever's my package.util, import the name and the function or the attribute or whatever helper underscore function. This is a function. From my package, import models. And then package management, when you do package management, you can do pep list to list all the packages that are currently installed, or pep install and request pandas, NumPy, all of them separated by space. You could do all 1, 2, 3, 4 packages by installing it. Uninstall will uninstall it, pep install, pep remove, and the other ones. There are a lot of commands with pep. You could see the arguments and you do that one. NumPy is one module for numerical array of math operation, foundation for scientific Python. And then Pandas is the data frame for data analysis, data science, like Excel and Python, essential for data science. Matplotlib, plotting and visualization. I have done a lot of this with Python and R language for you. There's a lot of videos that you could use, NumPy and Pandas and Graph-it and everything for visualization. I have done some videos there. Watch those ones and learn from a chart and graph and heat maps. FastAPI, a modern sync web API application program interface framework with automatic open API docs. There's other modules like Bot23 for Amazon Web Services, and you could do those on SQL Academy for Oracle and Oracle relational management or relation models and MySQL and MariaDB. Anything that you do with Microsoft Access SQL Server, you can use the SQL Academy modules to just go through them or do MySQL connector for MySQL. And I have videos on those ones that I showed you how to connect to the database and how to get it. Here, database classes, and from data classes, import data class fields. And then on Pandas, I did a lot of, on R language, I did a lot of data sets and data frames and big data kind of this, but at the same time with Python and Oracle, there's a lot of relational databases that watch my database classes. You will learn a lot about Oracle, about MySQL, about database normalization, and object-oriented database, hierarchical database like LDAP and other ones. So just watch those ones. Here at data class config, this is like connecting a string that you could just say the string is localhost and port 8080, field is default factory list, and then you could say I'm going to config this instance to get connected to it. Virtual environment, Python-M VN, virtual environment. This is a module called virtual env or virtual environment. And when you do -M, you basically saying that use this virtual environment to create this .v virtual environment. And then when you source it, and there's an activate. There's for Windows is activate or .ps1 for PowerShell, activate.batch for command line Windows for DOS. You can activate them. Once you activate them, you will be on this virtual environment. And then you can do pep install -r requirements. From this requirements, it will build all your modules that you want to install, or you can install it and then create the requirements from that one. And then after that one is done, you just have the tools that you want to use here. There's a little bit of smell coming in. I just need to watch what's going on here. I'm gonna pause for a little bit. So in this one, we're going to talk about the string, list, a dictionary, file IO, exception, and async. So you can see here as a string manipulation, you define a string and then you use the lower function or a strip function or replace function and joining it, all of that. It is very easily clean and doing it. Similarly, what the list, when you can just create a list, you append number 9 on it, append to it, and pop the last item that was just pushed in, and then a.source sorted and a.reverse will reverse sorted, and then this is stripping for split splicing, splicing, meaning that it's start from 1 to and the second element are going to be displayed. This one is reverse and 2 columns, and this is x for x and range. This one is a dictionary kind of sum of min and max. This is already defined. This one we don't have to use the math module. Sum is already defined function, minimum and maximum. And dictionary is key pair value. You just define it, and then d.get will get the value of C and then return it, and then d.keys will give you all the keys, d.values will give you all the values, d.items will give you a key pair values and there. And then this one is to dereference the D and dictionary and pull out the C to assign the character C, give the value of 3, the key C. Debug .pop will just pop A from that, and then file IO, you basically with open statement, you do this one. This is file management, and then that whenever you say with open f.text as f, this file descriptor that you declared, now it is the scope of it is defined within this open statement. You don't have to say f.close like other programming languages. As soon as you get out of a scope, the file IO manager is going to handle it, saying that, okay, the scope is gone now, no more, you cannot read more. So text is reading 1 byte at a time, or whatever element that you want to read, f.read, you read from it, and then here you read 1 line lines, read lines, and then assign it to lines. Write is similar. You can say create the output file as writable W, and then W plus will make it as writable plus update, like append to the end of it. And then B for reading it as binary. So if you watch my other videos that I create images from one image of a cat that I had Simba, and then or the drawing that my daughter Sadaf created, she just was drawing it so nice, and then I just said, let me do it, Sadaf John, with the pictures that you draw, and I would just write a program to make a copy of that binary image and create a new file from it. So like a copy statement, you can just create an image and then write to it in the binary format, then it will do it. Try is this is a very good exception handling. Try, and then you do risky function. If that is there, accept value, and then return as exception. And here this type error, a keyword handle, and then finally you want to just do the cleanup and raise value if it is none of that one is matched. And then asynchronous, you could say import async IO, and then async def function URL, async with session.get URL as or return await.rjson. Sometimes this is for good for multiple websites that you want to read it, and then you want to get the JSON data and then wait for it to say that, well, that is synchronized with the rest of the data, to make sure that if it is getting updated on the JSON format, you just want to wait at some point, then you come back to it. Async.run main, await async for async with this one. So that is a parallel programming or synchronization at the same time. So this one is basically a kind of comparison of different programming language, Python versus Java versus Go versus Ruby. Typing Python is dynamic, and then basically Java is static, explicit, and Go is static. Inferred. Inferred meaning that as soon as you just say S is equal name, then it is inferred to be string data type. And then Ruby is dynamic duck typing, and similar to Python. Object-oriented programming, multi-paradigm supports it. Java supports class-based strict, and then Go abstract and interface. So Go does not have object of class, but it does through abstract and interfaces. And then C also does abstract and union for that purpose, but it's not object-oriented programming. C. Go is object-oriented programming using abstract and interface. Ruby is also pure object-oriented program. Everything that you could do with multi-paradigm of Python, you can also do it in Ruby. Error handling, try exception, we talk about try catch throw. And then you notice every language they have this redefined differently, makes it harder for the developers to remember which one is which at one point. If you don't work on one of them for 6 months or a year, most likely you're going to have to consult the documentation. That's why I wrote you do that many documentations, 50,000 PDF files that you can get in the whole internet from those PDF files. Begin, rescue. And then actually, I'm going to just stop here because it's I don't want to read it to you. You can read it yourself. And then you can see what are the tools that they have. For example, package management on Python is you have pip and poetry. On Java, you have Maven and Gradle, and then on Go language, you have Go modules, and then Gem for Ruby bundler. The speed of them is very low. Learning curve is very low. Learning curve is very low. Java is high, and Go language is medium, like C, and then Ruby is also low, like Python. So what is next on this one? Let me just tell you what is next. Basically, if you look at it, you should be looking at some modules like NumPy, which I'm going to show you, Pandas, Matplotlib, and data science kind of stacks. And then also FastAPI, Django, Flask, and web development, PyTest, modernized testing framework, async IO for async await concurrency, deep dive, Scikit, Learn, and TensorFlow for PyTorch and machine learning when artificial intelligence, AI stuff. Package your own library and publish it at PyP. So there's more than 500,000 packages already on PyP, but you're welcome to add more. Cython for C language and C++ extension, speeding up Python, like NumPy is part of that kind of modules, and regular expression is similar. But Cython is mainly to package it. And you have PyInstaller, another video that I showed you how to create a standalone Python program, executable program out of your Python code. So you don't have to run it as an interpreter if you don't want to do it. With Go language, you have the option of running Go run, and then run the hello.go, or you could say go mod, and then execute it and just get it to I'm sorry, go build, not mod. Go build, and then the name of your program. You will get a binary executable to do it. With Python, you could do PyInstaller. Watch my other videos on those. And so the resources, you can go to docs.python.org. This is for version 3 and official documentation of Python. And then you can also go to exercise MIO track Python, or realpython.com best tutorial, Kaggle data science practices, and you can don't forget to visit MyWebUniversity.com, where I have a lot of resources. So at MyWebUniversity.com, I built the whole modules for you on chapter 17 of one of my chapters. And then you can see here chapter 12, dynamic generation of Python docs. You can get a lot of documentation at the same time. One of my page, which is pydoc/index.html. If you go to that one, which I will show you on the web page, you can search any built-in modules here, and then or you could just say OS or SES or JSON. These are already there. And then, but if the module is not part of the standard modules, like for example TensorFlow, then I'll refer you to the pip.org, and then you just find it there and then read it, and then you're still staying at MyWebUniversity for more of these kind of work. This is just the front page. I'll show you the actual video, but the resources that I made it is basically on MyWebUniversity.com. This is the website that you can find 2,100 English videos on computer science related courses in English. And at MyWebUniversity is the channel, and then 522 videos in the RHEL language, which is youtube.com at MyWebUniversity-RHEL. Earlier I mentioned to you that MyWebUniversity youtube.com at MyWebUniversity, 2,100 videos there. And then MyWebUniversity.com, also I made 43 chapters on it. They're all free. Free education, 43 chapters. If you want to learn C, C++, Python, Java, Go language, JavaScript, Ansible, you name it. Anything on the cloud, anything on the JSON, and then XML, anything with Bash scripting, these 43 chapters teaches you. The entire Linux on browser.com, my website that takes you to MyWebUniversity.com, is chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5 are all entirely dedicated for you to practice Linux on the browser. And then you can get manual pages, you can practice it, get the output of your command on Linux. You don't need to install any Linux or Docker or containerization or anything like Amazon Web Services. All you need is a browser and internet access with the desire to learn, and just visit MyWebUniversity.com. The rest is all on me, and I will give you everything for free. So here's one example of one of my chapter, I think it's chapter 15. For long videos, you can just get a list of all the videos that I have already posted on YouTube. And here I just, you can search for the name of the video. For example, if you type in Python data structure, you get all the videos that I have posted already on Python data structure. And similarly, you could say from 0 to hero, you will see all of them. For type in Red Hat Linux to get all the Linux stuff. Type Ubuntu, you will get Ubuntu. Any programming language, anything that you type in, you will get that one and details. So this one is also the RHEL version of my YouTube channel, that you could get all videos in the RHEL similarly. And this is sorted by the top one that are checked in, but you can search it here by filter, whatever search you do. Like here, I showed you the Python pip install NumPy, the one that I was showing you and telling you 16 seconds. If you just click on it, on the type of it, it will just run. And that is, most people like it 16 seconds, but it teach you how to install Python NumPy. Right here, pip install NumPy, and then it says requirement already met. Just click on the video, you will see it. Also, you can search on Google. On Google, when you go visit Google, you say Python at MyWebUniversity. There's a syntax of how you query on Google. If you type in this string followed by at MyWebUniversity, then it's going to look at this YouTube channel at MyWebUniversity.com. You can also say Python : site : MyWebUniversity.com. So you will get a list of them. But if you just type in Python by itself, then you could get all kind of information. This is more kind of getting at MyWebUniversity. If you change this one at MyWebUniversity-.e, then you will see my videos there. But not this AI stuff. AI overview says MyWebUniversity provide free Python learning resources and tutorials, including a comprehensive Python programming full course on YouTube. Their materials cover everything from basic command line syntax and interpreters usage to advanced topics like object-oriented programming, data science, and web development. Key topics covered by MyWebUniversity Python Basic. You could go and read more on it, but I'm going to just show you some of the other videos that are also I have posted a few years ago. Like some of these ones, like Python, you can run the Python tips and tricks, running Python command from Python-C argument. You can just code it at the command line, and then you could do that one. This is Python virtual environment modules on Kali Linux large. This one is a very good video if you're using Windows subsystem for Linux. And then I did a lot of this video for Kali Linux and Ubuntu and other Red Hat, Oracle, all of those ones. You should watch those videos and you're going to enjoy it and learn more of it. So this was for the presentation. Now I'm going to show you on the web how to take advantage of my website here. My website is called MyWebUniversity.com. As you can see here is a secure page, HTTPS, that means secure. And if you click on this, the two private public certificate, you say connection is secure, and then valid certificate, you can see MyWebUniversity and the date that it's good until October 2nd. But I have cron job it to make sure every 3 months it gets updated. And I did it with Python coding that it is basically free. And if you are interested, write me a comments and I'll show you how to do that there. So MyWebUniversity has a video in English, which is this one, that is 2100 videos. And then you can see here, I have, for example, the popular for Linux Red Hat 9. This is from 0 to hero on Red Hat 9. And then Rocky Linux, and then Solaris operating system, PDF, and Linux advanced level courses. All of these courses are going to show you a lot. And then you can see I have a lot of these ones. So and the other thing is that on the MyWebUniversity.com, this video I already presented to you last time for the 43 chapters a couple of days ago, 6 days ago. And people are watching it, 45 hours of watch time is good for 6 days. But I need more of people to subscribe and share it with other ones, so the channel grows, and that way I could bring you the best of the internet. I used to teach these courses at a university level. Now I'm doing it for free on the YouTube. You should just return the favor and at least watch it and share it. That would be very, very appreciated by myself. So these are the courses like structured query language and PyInstaller that I was telling you. You could do that one with Python. And then learning Linux online, the direct path to Linux, Ubuntu. So I was telling you that this website is really cool stuff here. One of them is for the RHEL channel, which is this one. And then that one is having 525 videos currently. And you can see last night I posted this one, 13 views so far, but it's 18 hours, not 1 day yet. This one is also growing, and I have a lot of Afghan fellows, and I'm making these videos especially for people that are hard to just imagine that at this modern year, in 2026, people are not allowed to go to school because of economy being bad, because there are girls, and it's unfortunate. So help them for their rights, and just have these courses for free. It's my job, and hopefully they will just succeed for the rest of their life. These little girls, they need to go to school and then educate themselves so they can help themselves and their families. There are a lot of orphans that they had lost their dads, and now there's a mom with 3 girls or 2 boys that they're very little, and then they need to have some sort of schooling to just get to have a job. So for this one, I'm going to also show you on MyWebUniversity the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. This one, you can see here, I have 43 chapters online. All of them is online for MyWebUniversity.com. And then there's 43 chapters, including chapters for Python, for Go language, for other ones. Some of the videos for Linux, if I go here and say Linux on browser.com, it will automatically redirect to MyWebUniversity.com, because I want you to be able to go to Linux on browser and then practice Linux online. How do you practice online? Go to chapter 2 if you're beginners. And if you're beginners, imagine all these 33 chapters, I made it for you. So you can say, what is the command? What is the man section for it? And what is the example? For each one of them, I also have videos that you can go and watch the videos. And you also have 50,000 technical documentation on this one for Red Hat 9.2. For example, this course is about Red Hat. If you're looking at Red Hat, imagine, and there's all these stuff. So like if you just come in on the filter here and say, see what I have on the Python, for example. Let's go on the top. Right here on the search, you could go by section, or you could just say type in Python. And then imagine just for Red Hat, this 3 videos are there. So Python 3.9, you can just click on it, and I produce you, and I give credit to Red Hat manual pages because I wrote it. This free PDF modules, I wrote it, and Python, I wrote. That whole thing I wrote together to just produce you on this PDF, 12,000 technical documentation from the manual pages of Red Hat. All of these ones are available to you. So if you just say, what about alternative? Let's say you type in alternative, and notice that here alternatives and update alternative. If you have multiple version of Java or Go language or Vim or editor or anything, you can use this update alternative. And this one is basically allow you on Red Hat to just say which version of Java is your main priority 1 to run, or which one of version of Python it is that. If you have multiple version, you need this update dash alternative, or just alternative binary and this. And the syntax is very simple. You just basically, you could use dash dash auto to regenerate it with, for example, for Python. You could just say update dash alternative and then dash dash auto, and then do for Python. Similarly, if you just do it for Java or something else. And then if you just do dash dash config or dash dash display name, all of these options are a little bit very intuitive, but depending on what your needs are, you could just do this one based on how many version of Python or currently you're running and how you should be expecting it on your program. Because you could say shebang use a ben env Python 3.9 on your code, then you're running Python 3.9. But if you just say Python 3 and then you were expecting 3.9, then you have to make sure your system is update alternative is set correctly. I'll show you all of that. So the nice thing about doing these kind of documentation, I showed you this, but then remember I showed you Rocky, for example, 11,000 technical documentation here. And these ones are also Control F search for Python. You will see everything related to Python are here. And so these are the modules on Rocky that has the word Python somewhere and there. Because no, actually I have to type in Python here. I was wondering why it's more. And okay, it is 3 of them and there. But then if you want to see on Ubuntu, for example, this is a man on Ubuntu. You have about 10,000 PDF files. So here you could just do a Control F and search Python, and then you can see that 3.1, 3.9, but 16 of them are entries are there. So maybe if I look at 3.10 versus 3.2, this one was the format, and this one is the fstring functions. So different version of Python has different syntax and different modules, different features. You just have to get good at it. And then coming back here on this main chapter, you can see also about 7,000 PowerShell commandlets. So if you're looking at git dash process, then you just type in git dash process, and it's right there, that function and then that procedure. Notice I give credit to Windows git dash help and git dash process commandlet. And then at the same time, you have the Windows here, that is about 88 command. That's not that much, but like every command you look at it, you could also have audio version of them. For example, if I click on this one, you could see the audio version of this, and then you can just look at this one and click on this one, it will read it for you.
Displays or modifies file extension associations ASSOC.ext equals file type. .ext specifies the file extension to associate the file type with file type specifies the file type to associate with the file extension type ASSOC without parameters to display the current file associations. If a
Okay, you got the idea, and you know what I'm talking about here. And so you could search here, but at the same time, if you go back to MyWebUniversity.com here, and then just click on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. For example, let's say you're going on chapter 17, the video long here, you could just see that this is a list of all the videos, about 479 of these videos in order of sorted by the most liked videos, and then some nice comments on it and everything. But if you're looking at this one and say, okay, I need to learn Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, inside here, I already made some Python stuff there. So if you're looking for all the Python data structure, for example, data structure and courses, you could just type in data structure, and these videos are showing. This is Python data structure with the string, set, list, tuples, list comprehension, data dictionary class. Even if I make this video 2 hours or 4 hours or 10 hours long, I will still just not cover 10 other videos that I covered or on the same subject. So for example, data structure, you can see here, I covered on Linux or Ubuntu, and then here, this one is covered at the same data structure on Windows operating system. Here, Python tuple by itself is about 39 minutes of doing immutable data. This is Python tuple and data structures, how to, this one is 22 minutes. And then you can see here Python less data structure tutorials. If you want to learn data less, just visit this one. The Python 2 interview questions, asking the 2 interview questions. Python string data structure, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Python data dictionary, which is data dictionary key pair values, 49 minutes. Python less data structure tutorial 2. And then the C++ vectors, dynamic arrays, and data structures. So NumPy might be there, but vectorization and C++, I covered this one while I was teaching this course C++ at Pasadena City College. So a lot of the courses, sometimes I cover. So if I just go here and say C++, you can see some of the C++ courses. C++ for loop examples, Linux basic from 0 to hero. So I cover C and C++ in this 2 hours video. Structured core language, discussing it most likely. I did discuss how to do a connection from C or C++. Learn Linux online for free. The direct path to Linux Ubuntu. You can see it here, the command line, write command line C++, argv and argc and argv, and that one. And then here, learn Linux shell scripting at MyWebUniversity. The hello program in multiple languages, Bash, Python, C, C++, awk, and other ones. I covered that one. And then build the standalone executable PyInstaller. This is a very good video. Debug C++ code with GDB, GNU Debugger. GDB, and this one is how to run a program and see and compile it with debugger option. And then now you GDB to it to test it, GNU Debugger. This is download and install code blocker, computer programming, C and C++. So if you just look for like from 0 to hero, from 0 to hero, notice that you're inside MyWebUniversity, but you can also search for these videos on YouTube. From 0 to hero, you can see here there's a lot of courses. And then on multiple R programming languages, and then Ubuntu, Anaconda, Fedora distribution, Red Hat distribution, you could do it. And then if you just go on this chapter 18, for example, this is the reversion. The reversion for similar things. So this is Python on DAV and Linux Ubuntu, data structure on Ubuntu, Red Hat, and then more Python, more code on this one for DAV. And then you can also go to quick tips and short videos. So for a short video, I told you that this one is a pep install NumPy, 16 seconds. I'm going to play this one just to show you how quickly this one is.
Just want to install it. If it was not installed, I would do pep install and then followed by NumPy. That is the name. And so now, since I have already installed it, it says requirement already satisfied. So I do.
So that is how easy it is. And you're welcome to watch these other ones, which is a lot of discussion from the 43 chapters. This is a video that I posted 6 days ago, and then you're learning a lot from it. So now if I just say, for example, on this long videos, this one, because I wrote a cron job, automatically every Sunday I run whatever I have posted on YouTube, it is going to show on this chapter 17. So chapter 17, you can see I wrote one program called free. And then you can see all the courses that are showing with free are listed here. So one of the course was that one. Let's just see what is the title. Say the free CS. And right here, you can see that course is there. The free CS education nobody told you about. This is 43 chapters. Nobody has told you about it. But I'm telling you, this is gonna just set you for life. It's 43 chapters. You could be doing anything programming language, operating system wise, shell scripting, Bash, Unix, Linux, PowerShell, Windows, Linux, Red Hat, Rocky, Ubuntu, Ansible, cloud, AI stuff, C, C++, Java, Python, Go language, Perl, Ruby. Everything is on this chapter, and it's on mywebuniversity.com here. So if you're looking at the basic of Linux, for example, I showed you, you could just come in on this one and click on the calendar and just get a calendar of the information. Calendar minus A means after the current month 5. So if you look at the current month, what is the current month? You click on this option, you say cal was the argument, and you say July. And then if you just change this cal to date, say, give me the date on this system, it is dynamic. It tells you, I wrote the date incorrectly, so you have to type it correctly. And now you get the output on July. But if you change it to a cal, like +1 plus 90, 70, then it's going to give you the Linux, the Unix epoch calendar of January 1st. That epoch calendar started as 9070. This. So right here, you say, okay, these are the command. That's great. If I just want to say, show me calendar 2 months after the current month. So the current month is in July. I'm sorry, before -B for before. If you change this before to after, then it's going to be 2 months after. And you can see here the 2 months. The syntax is very dynamic. So if I say, give me 5 months after, you will get the output there. But this is what I call Linux on browser. You're practicing Linux on browser without you actually doing anything installation-wise. You are using your browser and you're learning it. If you say, okay, these are very good example. I saw what is calendar. It display a calendar, and here's 10 examples, but I want to read the PDF documentation. You click on here on this man to PDF.cgi. The argument is cal. I just produce you the calendar command here. And then you click on it, and then you just learn from it here. Then you say, well, that's great, Wahid. Can I do this one with any command? Yes. PWD, and then I'll just generate you the PWD here. Not just Linux command, you can do programming languages like Python. And then I just generate you the Python here. And then you click on the Python, and then you will see the Python there. But at the same time, if you look at the bottom, or look for Control F and then type in HTTPS, now everything is that is code reusability of object-oriented programming. I wrote the program to get the manual pages from this operating system. Let me just cd2/clear screen, and I'm going to exit out as root. So right here, if I say man pwd, I get the output in text. Man calendar, I get the output in text. But all of these commands, like man Python, I get it as text. In order for me to help you as a student or as a developer on the internet, you are going to be able to just type in the command Python, and I generate on the fly the PDF version of this command right here. And then at the same time, I make that one code reusability. So you click on it, and now you're on python.org. If you just read it, remember section 3 of it, you go down on documentation. By default, they drop you to 3.x resources, and you could just read it from the tutorial, practice these codes, and each one of them, a for statement, you can see this one for W and words, print W, length of W. And the word, each word is defined here and as a dictionary, and then you just do. So it says the cat is 3 characters, Windows is 6 characters, defense strats is 12 characters. And then that's how simple you could learn everything, and very nice. Look at the if statement. If x is less, do the assignment this one. I just read the whole thing like a computer. I'm just joking with you to make you not get bored forever. So right here, you see that python.org. But I told you that if you go to MyWebUniversity, do Control F and then type in HTTPS, and then now we go to p.org. Here you are seeing, for example, sys module, you get the sys module. os.sys module is there. But if you say, give me the NumPy module, NumPy, and then you see it now, you're inside PyP, and then reading the documentation of NumPy modules. And then all the functions and how you do the arrays and the metrics and everything is all there. You just have to go to the documentation and practice it one by one with everything that you read it from, and then all of a sudden you're a genius. At least if you're not a genius, you're genius plus plus. But let's put it this way, that you can find any modules. So Pandas, that is more than 50,000 modules. So if I go on Pandas here, you could see that Pandas modules and all the definition, everything, right? Pep install Pandas, pep install NumPy, pep install module name Cython, and everything. And you could do that one. So if you're looking at Pandas, like for example, TensorFlow, I was telling you that you could do right here, say Tensor dash flow. That's a module, TensorFlow, and Tensor is there. You could just look at them, yeah. So type in TensorFlow without dash, and you will get the TensorFlow modules here. And then you can see that all of that documentation here for Python 3, and then all the related programming languages for scientific this, and you have everything. So pep install TensorFlow, it will install for 3.9, but not like the version 14 or something. So some of them you have to just look at what you can do and what you cannot do with ENV. So on this one, before I go to Red Hat, I want to show you one more thing on MyWebUniversity.com here. So I showed you some of the modules. Like for example, if you go to this chapter where I say I teach you Go language, notice I teach you Python, C, C++, Go, Java, Ruby, Rust, Perl, or each one of them you click, you get a set of modules and functions and actual coding sources that you can copy and compile it with gcc-wal-w hello.c, and then make the executable. So if you're interested to say, for example, let me learn Rust, you just go on the copy on the examples, you copy the code here, and then on the bottom, it says cargo run, and do it. Similarly, if you say go on the Go language, here the copy is example here, and then go run main.go is the name of the program that you want to run it as an interpreter. Go build-o hello.main.go. It will create hello as executable length format object executable binary, and then you say /hello if this command was successful. That's and meaning that if this one return value is 0, then question mark $sign question mark is equal 0, then you could see $sign question mark is equal 0, then you could run it this way. So for example, for our language, I have a lot of video already, then you can just look at it here also with these examples that you can do deployer methods and create data frames and this and that. So for Python, you might be interested to learn from my videos here. You can see here, you can get a lot of the already built-in modules, all of them right here. And then NumPy modules, popular third parties. So you can click on this, for example, NumPy, and I will just give you the NumPy modules here. NumPy is really huge. So if I just go and say clear screen, man, and NumPy, and this one is, sorry, clear screen, Python 3 -- version. In order to get the NumPy modules, I can get inside Python and then import. This is one way you could say Python 3 first, and then you say import NumPy as NP, and now dir of NP, that is the same as a NumPy module. So here I could say dir of NP, and I could also say Python, help on NP. This will just give me all the NumPy modules, everything there. But you can also go and say, for example, np.array or this and that, or you could say type of np. What is this one? It is just a class module. So if I exit out of this one and say exit out here, and then I say I want to get that documentation without going to Python, can I do that one? Yes, there's a document with Python. You could say Python 3-m for module name, and then say give the doc module name, and then give the NumPy as argument to it. And now, as if you went inside Python and you get all of the details. But at the same time, since this is a lot, I could say do a word count minus L. Look at it, 71,600 this. So if I say echo 71,689 divided by let's say 40 lines, and then I say call a basic calculator, you see it's 1,792 pages if there's that many lines. Similarly, if I just do the same thing with Pandas, Pandas is even bigger. Pandas, you can see that is PyDoc. I just wrote Pandas with Pandas. Yeah, Pandas is 92,000. So 92,000. If I say echo that statement with 92,000 divided by 92,833, basic calculator says more than 2,320 pages long. So in order for you to just load it on the web, it will just be too slow for it to load. So what I'm doing here, I load the program with async kind of IO that it is going to wait. It's gonna wait, it prints 10 pages first, then it waits with the async IO module. And now I can get the whole thing here. Similarly, if I switch this one from Pandas from NumPy to Pandas, that is also 2,000 pages. That is again the async IO feature is going to load the first 10 pages, and as the user browses it, then I read the more. So the more it goes, it just keeps loading it about 10 pages at a time, and then it is eventually going to give you everything on. Okay, so and this is that. But if there's part of math module, for example, you could get the math modules very much smaller. Look, for example, here I say do the same thing with math module. Let's see, math module might not be that big. Yeah, 303 pages. So if I just say a basic calculator and then 303 divided by 40, you can see it's 7 pages only long. So if I say quit out of this one, notice here I go say give me the math module, and this one is not that big. See, this one is already like only 7 pages long, right? So all the math functions, everything is there. But NumPy, because it does a lot of different things, it is huge. So how do you get a module that is not listed here, that is actually a third-party module like TensorFlow? TensorFlow using MyWebUniversity. You type in TensorFlow. I already look at the TensorFlow saying that TensorFlow is not installed here, because if I do here with the TensorFlow, clear screen, pep list, you can see here all of this are there. So if I say pep list and then say grep minus I NumPy, you can see NumPy is already there. Similarly, for Pandas is already there. So if I say TensorFlow, TensorFlow is not there. And therefore, the Python doc, this one it is not going to return. Let's say TensorFlow is not going to return. Says, well, you did not have the TensorFlow modules, no Python documentation found on it. So in this case, my code is going to read my standard libraries that are already on MyWebUniversity.com and says, oh, I don't have it. Then let me consult the pyp.org and open it here. So then I provide the external module for TensorFlow. This button, this is like an application, a web application that is going to read the modules for Python, read the command lines for Linux, and then give you very nice documentation for it. So if you click on here, now I take you to the TensorFlow documentation, and here is the TensorFlow documentation. But at the same time, if you're right here back, you can go say, take me back to MyWebUniversity, and you can just come back here. Another chapter that is very, very important that you need to learn is, like I showed you on the dynamic generation, I'm going to go onto the direct path to Linux Ubuntu. And this is very important for you to learn, aside from going all to these other languages when you go. And when you're looking for something like Python, go to this chapter 21, Linux manual pages online. So you could see, for example, a lot of the manual pages, I just said, well, if somebody is learning shell scripting, they need at least 8 of these PDF files to just learn it, whether bash, corn shell, ZSH, or anything. And then file and directory management, you see these 14 of them. And then when you click on this one, it opens all 14 of them in a PDF file. But I'm going to do that one for maybe Python. Text processing, you can see that all the text processing. And then for file viewing, editing, 7 of them. Emacs, Vim, and gedit, and so on. Archiving, tar and gunzip, and all of that one is about 10. And then networking and internet, wget, SSH, scopy, secure FTP, and traceroute and ping, and all that, and this lookup, dig, and all of that, fconfig, everything. So process and system management, PS, top, htop, kill all of those ones, or watch and other ones are related to monitoring the system process. And date and time calendars, about 11 of them, all of these are more available. Time CTL is when you change your time. And new calendar is similar to cal. It gives you in Julian format as well. And so cal also -J will give you Julian format. Here, Python ecosystem. So I give you Python, Python 3, Python 3.12, and PEP 3, PyDoc, and idle. So 7 of them. You click on this one. Obviously, for Java, you get 11 of them. For Go language, you have 7. Notice Go, Bell, Go format, Go install, Go run. All of them are here. Node.js, you got Yarn, Node.js, and NPX and NPM, and all of that. Ruby, you got the rack and all of the details for Ruby. Perl, for C-SPAN, comprehension, Perl, archiving network, and C and C++, you have all of this, and what GCC and everything. Plus the documentation is really extensive and chapters are there. Shell programming for them system related, message and hostname CTL, and package management. Because this is Ubuntu, apt is there, but on Red Hat, you have DNF in Yum. DNF is the newer version. You're going to do it OpenSSL for security and encryption. But let's go to the Python. So for Python, I told you that right here, you have 7. If you click on here, you get the 7 PDF on the fly I just created with you. And then you see this, this was the argument that you pass on from that. I generated all of these ones that you gave me. This is the query string that was passed on the command. My program man to pdf.cgi, read this input, and then creates this number of Python code on the fly for you. So you're a very good programmer in Python. You say, show me Python 3.12, and then I open that file for you. Similarly, if you say, show me the idle integrated development and learning environment that's inside Python, you could just get that information. So this is very, very nice stuff for you, all done for free. You don't need to go anywhere, but just visit MyWebUniversity. From one place, I take you to another place and other ones. And then similarly, like I told you on the practicing it online, if you just are learning some programming, Chapter 2 is for basic, Chapter 3 is intermediate, Chapter 4 is advanced. So on Chapter 4, I have about 88 commands. Each one of them, they teach you something. Like GDB, if you're learning a new debugger, it should be somewhere here, GDB. And then if you didn't find it, just do Control F and type in GDB. And then that's the new debugger right here. GCC, compiling it, and so on. So this one will also show you man to PDF on GDB, and then you could just get that information there. Unfortunately, GDB is not showing, so maybe I have to correct that one. Let me just get to say man and GDB, and GDB is showing. I think might be the reason. Oh, man.cgi. So man is not showing up on this one, and I could do man GDB and PDF, and that one is giving you GDB. Yeah, man GDB, I'm not gonna do that one. Okay, so right here, the GDB information is already printed in PDF for you with man to PDF version. And the way you just look at it is you say CGI-bin man to PDF, and then right here, you can pass on anything GDB or ADB or any other ones, and then you will get the GDB documentation and read it there. But I want to just jump into Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9, which is this video is all about, and show you Python on that one. So when you log in here, I have this Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 VM already started, and then you see it is running. I'm going to open a terminal here by clicking on this activity, and then I could see the terminal here. So you click on the terminal, and you will get a terminal. Let me see, where's my terminal? Right here. Right here is the terminal. So on this one, when I just make it a little bit bigger, so it's easier to read, you go Shift Control Plus, and that's big enough. I think it is good enough for you to see what I'm typing here. On this one, if I type in host name, I named the algorithm for name of Al-Khawarizm, the Persian mathematician, 9th century, that wrote Al-Kitab Hisab or arithmetic for the time. And then later on, Hisab and trigonometry, calculus, and everything. Now we have everything on the internet, on computer, and everybody is talking about Oracle and Amazon Web Services and Google and all these other companies, but they're all based on math and science and algorithm that runs efficiently on computers. So algorithm is there, and then now I'm going to say uname -a. This is telling me that I'm on a Linux. The host name is algorithm. The revision or build is this. I could also do -a for all or dash revision or build, or the SS for system name, or OS for GNU Linux for the version, or V for the preemptive dynamic version of it, or M for machine type, or P for platforms. And there's uname -help you can get all of these ones, dash dash s for kernel or dash dash kernel. All of these parameters are there. You can use them. At the same time, you could say cat minus n etc os dash release. OS dash release that tells you that I'm running Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and it's 9.2, and then the code name is Plum, and this Fedora distribution 9.2 is there. So this is the documentation for URL is access.redhat.com. You can also create your access. Unfortunately, when Red Hat was acquired by IBM, they just did not release the Red Hat subscription to everyone. Then you have, as a developer, you can have a free version like I do, that one. And as a corporation, you have a paid subscription that you can get the source code. Otherwise, you're not allowed to have access to the source, like Ubuntu or other distribution of Linux that allows you to have it. And Rocky version is still a free version, and you can have access to the Rocky build. Rocky was just a replacement for CentOS community enterprise operating system, and Rocky is a very cool Linux operating system. It's an enterprise level. I have also the 9.2 installed, and I have worked on with Rocky a lot. I wrote that PDF, and you saw that at MyWebUniversity.com. If you go here on the technical documentation, say give me documentation, for example, on the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, on any chapter you click on, and then you see this page at the bottom. It says, show me all the technical documentation. There's 50,000 of them, all in this page, all _ PDF, index.html. It's also in Google search. So if you're looking for a Rocky, you can see here and that about 11,000 technical documentation here. Like if you look for the ps3 command, that ps3.1 PDF is right here. In order for you to just get access from Google, you could go to, say, google.com and then say ps3 and PDF. This will just bring up from my search engine of MyWebUniversity. This is all optimized. You can see here, this is AI is telling you what is PS3, but the first one that shows on the top is Rocky Enterprise PDF file that I wrote, that I just opened it here for you. So you can click on this one, and then you could see the Rocky version of it there. And I gave full credit to Linux Ubuntu manual pages, because if you look at this one on this syntax here, man PS3, you get this information output here. But then what is PS3 is process stream 3. And then if you look at process stream 3.1, you will see all of the system D processes related to that. Similarly, if you're on Red Hat, the same PS3 command, if you know it, you just say PS3 and then 1, and then we'll see all the processes for this one, including sub-processes that are forked by processor stream 3. Sometimes you need to trace them. So if we say which Python, you can see Python is installed file user ben Python. You can see this Python is symbolic link to Python 3. So if I say which Python 3, and that is also under user ben Python. If I say ls minus L user ben Python, and then I just write up to O, and then want to see asterisk for Python. Notice this one is symbolic to Python 3, and Python 3 is symbolic links to Python 3.9. I also have installed Python 3.11, 3.12, but current version that I'm saying that go ahead, open it, Python 3 -- version, you can see it is Python 3.9. So if I say update alternative, and then config, and then say Python, you can see that that's returning as no value here, because I have not set up any of them. But if I say Python 3 -- version, it is automatically running the 3.9.25, which is this one. So whether I type in user bin Python 3.9 version or anything, I still get that. I'm sorry, user bin Python 3.9 version, dash version, or lower uppercase V, one character, you could still get that one. And if you just jump into Python, you just say Python here, you will go to 3.25 here. There of this one will show you all the objects are there. So if I want to just run something from Python here and get the OS information or something, I could also say import OS and then say CMD commands. Commands is a list. And then I'm going to just write some of the commands like hostname and then calendar command and then ID-UN and then at the same time pwd print working directory, just to list a few commands, right? And here and then also comma date. So we know that it's dynamically because we run the calendar command and everything here. So now if I say commands here, it will just say this is a list type of commands. I just created this list and then it's a class type list. Dir of commands, it says that, okay, with this list, you can do a lot of stuff. And so commands, you can see that I can pop it. So commands dot pop will just pick up the date. And then the next time I pop it, the PWD and from last in, first out. And then similarly, I can do a copy them, or I can extend them, and I can get an index of them. So if I say commands sub 0, and it's going to just give me the first one host name. And command sub 1 is going to give me the calendar. And then similarly, if I want to get from all of them 0 through the end, it is there. If I want to then reverse -1, show me the last one is skip, -1 is date out. But if I want to do PWD also out, it will just go there. So depending on what you want to do with this list, you can do a lot of stuff. And so you can see here, I did the sort in reverse by the skipping those two. You could do this, and that would say, show me everything there. You can also do commands and dot sort method, and then get it the sorts. So what is the help on the commands will just give you all the functions that is available for them, including sort or reverse or anything that are pop or push and this, that. And so if I just do this commands, now I'm going to do import OS. Notice I type in clear, it did not understand it here. But on the other shell that I was there, I could understand it. Because sometimes if you use IPython, there's LS Magic and other ones, list of them that you could do OS level. But here I could do clear by just using the OS method. So dir of OS is there. Now I could say type OS, and then this is a module there. And then os.system, I could just type in clear, and that will clear the screen. So now instead of this clear, I could say, and just type in host name, and it's going to give me the host name. Type in calendar, and it's going to give you that. Each command that I have on the commands, I could do it. Now, imagine that instead of doing that many, I have to do it with commands being hundreds of commands. So instead of doing that one, I could say for CMD and commands, and then say now do os.system, and then just say CMD. This will just run the command and give you an output. But notice that for each one of them, you get a 0, meaning that it's there. So I could say Well, that's good, but now let me just make it better and say for CMD and commands, I'm going to say stream is equal os dot pipe open or process open CMD. So you create a stream and then create an output is equal stream dot read function, read from the stream, and then say print the f string here with saying that the command is, and you say CMD here, and then that would say this one, and then we could say in output is, and then output is going to be output within the bracket, and then right here, and then close it. So now you just are doing it like similar. Notice that the command is calendar, and the output is July this. The command is date, and the output is this date. And the command is host name output right, and the command is id-n y. So all of that one is very intuitive. You can also do, like, for example, os.system and then id and -un, id-un, or -a for all of them, and you could just get that information. Or os.system and say cat -n etc os-release. Earlier we were looking at that one, you could do that one. Or give me the Red Hat release, this one line, Red Hat -release. And so this is all OS related to use Python inside OS. And but if you want to just use like Python to load a module, for example, do this one. Let's see if we have installed request method. So you could say pep and list and grep -i request, and then see if request I have already installed it. Otherwise, I would say pep install request. So I could say import a request as R, for example, and then you say now dir of R, that method is there. So I could say that module is there, and then you could say R dot get request. So if you say, for example, here help on R, let's say you forgot the syntax of some of the modules that are there. Request dot get and then assign it to R. Since I said import request as R, this one is a result set for me, and then I could just say give it from this one, and then status code and this and that. So let's go to this one. Say a result set is equal R dot get, and then the URL. In this case, I'm going to type it in HTTPS and www.myWebUniversity.com, and then close it. And then now I have a result set. And let's see if it is getting it. If I don't have network on this one, I will not be able to set to that URL r.request set. It is taking longer than it should be. Let me just do the same thing on Windows. Let me see why it is actually rather than doing it on Windows. I'm going to say quit there. First, make sure that I have ping .myWebUniversity.com. Okay, so it is connecting it to DNS, and it should see the public IP address. So why it was not getting it, let me just do again. I'm going to say sudo sudash. I'm going to become root just to have full permissions here. I'm going to run Python pep list and then grep -i request. And then here we have it, and then we say Python 3.9, doesn't matter. Import request itself So I'm gonna say request is there. I'm gonna say R is equal request dot get method. And before I do that, now let me just define a URL first and say URL is www.google.com. I'm not going to say HTTPS. Let's see if it picks it up from there without the URLs. So I'm going to say R is equal requests dot get and then the URL. Okay, so it did not understand it because this no schema perhaps the schema has to be HTTPS there. So this URL we're going to change it to HTTPS. Now the protocol is defined as HTTP secure. This is there, and then now I should be able to do that one. Yes, or the status, and it's going to connect it. R dot status is R dot OK. Yeah, that's true. R. So there of R, you can see what is there. The R dot content or the type. R dot URL is gonna just tell me that it's go. R dot bytes, and it's gonna just return the bytes. R dot byte dot content. Content or headers in there, or content is going to give me all the content. R dot bytes, I think it's byte. Yeah, let me see. There of R dot text rather than R dot byte. R dot text. This will give you a text, the ASCII version. R dot content will give you in bytes. Notice every content will give you everything with the B there, and then the actual HTML code. R dot headers, R dot headers, and will give you the header and the key pair value there. So content type is text/HTML. Notice this is a dictionary R dot header. So if you say for key comma value and R dot headers, and then you just say print key comma value. This one will just print that each one of them R dot headers. Too many values to unpack, expected to. So R dot headers, and then you could say print and the key, and then that key sub value. Okay, let me just do this. First, I need to get R dot headers dot items. Yeah, this is giving you the key pair value. Now I go values, and then that is going to give me values, and then keys. I'm sorry, keys, no R. Keys doesn't look like a object to attribute. Oh, keys without E. So that one is there. So now you could say for R for key comma value and R dot headers dot items. Items, I think it was for items. I think it is items. Let me just say first to get that one. R dot headers dot items, and then that method dot item. Oh, headers. Miss Typo is always getting you R dot items, but items like that without the E. Yeah. So it is this syntax items. So you could say dot items, but you say for key comma value and this now you're gonna have key value print k comma v, and you could get the values for each key values. Server is GWS, and then X this one is. So that is key pair value for it and there. This is not a clean example of this one, but if I say URL is equal https and then www.mywebuniversity.com and then create that one. Now I have to say or is equal requests dot get and then call URL again, and then that will just return it. Notice that www.mywebuniversity.com is not coming because of XYZ reason, and let me tell you what I mean by XYZ. So import OS and then os.system, and if I say cat -n etc os-release, the IP address that I have here is for this one etc host file. I have it as called localhost. So notice that host name does not resolve. So if I change that one to any host or URL is equal, let me just try this port of saying 192.168.254.29. This might still not work because that is not a public IP address, but I will try it with this. See, yeah, it did not resolve it. You can see it is not going there. But if I change the host name, this URL to, let's say, another company like we did google.com, we could just say youtube.com. That is also a valid company. And then we just do this request, and that automatically comes. R.OK, you can see it is coming. R.content is going to give you the YouTube. R.text give you a text one. R.headers is going to give you the header channel. R.status code give you the status code 200, meaning successful there. So a lot of these things there of R, you can see that these are methods like r.url will give you the youtube.com there. A lot of these exception and double underscore method, you could also use it, the dictionary, and that's other ones. And there are methods and doc method. You can get documentation, equality exist, and double underscore and net for instantiation, so on. So I'm going to put out of this one. Notice that when I do pep here, pep list, there's a lot of modules. So if I just don't have NumPy, for example, say pep list and grep -I NumPy, you could say, okay, NumPy is not there. So in order to install it, you say pep install NumPy. And then now you get the NumPy installed. The next time you could just use your environment to get that one. So now I do this one, pep install list and NumPy script, and it's there. So if I go here, Python, there say import a NumPy as NP. Now dir of NP is all the methods or associated is there. So arrays and metrics and everything that is there. Watch my videos on mywebuniversity.com, because if I have to show all these methods and functions, I will never finish this video. But let me show you what I mean by it. If you go on youtube.com and then just type in search for anything with like NumPy Python, then you can see like people that they wrote NumPy modules are there, right? So a lot of them are at this one, including mine's. Some of them people have put it. But if you go on google.com google.com, and then say, let me find out Python NumPy. This is giving you everything, everybody, Python NumPy, right? And you can see Python NumPy, NumPy.org website, and then NumPy.pyp.org, the people that w3school.com, very nice websites and everything, tools that are there. And at the same time, if you just say, show me at MyWebUniversity, MyWebUniversity English channel. So this is now you're seeing NumPy, Python NumPy, all of them on the MyWebUniversity related to videos. You can see here a lot of them, and then videos one by one, and then I have some short videos that you can watch, and then some other ones. They're all at mywebuniversity.com. You can see, because I put it here, say specifically show me what Wahid has on the NumPy here, and then also it gives you an overview here. But if you say, how about the reversion? Do you have NumPy stuff? If I did create a English version, most likely I have a 4C version also. This is Python NumPy, and then here the PDF version of it, and documentation, YouTube beginners, and then Python basics, NumPy, and everything. So if you look at this one and say site colon, whether you wrote the site or just write the name of the site without it, you could still find this query. So you could say MyWebUniversity.com. Now it's going to search it for MyWebUniversity, all the NumPy stuff there. So I have this one, tutorial number 1 through 7. All of them are listed here. Some of them are under Coursera, some of them are under mine, but you will find good stuff everywhere. People cover it. So, and this is Python NumPy modules, key features, set 1 through 34 seconds. It's a short video that I had for MyWebUniversity 3 months ago. And this is MyWebUniversity NumPy loads and this and that. So you could get these ones on different sites. I'm going to teach you how to query them, finding these things precisely, how you do it on another video. But let's get back to this one. And now we have these ones. And if you say help on the NumPy module, you can see here the documentation are very extensive. So import NumPy as in P, and then X is equal this. Now you say in P.sort, you could do that one, and in P and the arrays and everything. So like a lot of them are very, very easily found out from those documentation, how you do multiplication and the other ones. So there's a lot here. So like, for example, if I just need help on numpy.array function, and then I could just do this one. Notice here it says array object, and data type is none, copy true, and then order is key, and then all the details. So here you could just say, oh, great, now can I just use this documentation to create an array? Notice here, numpy.array, and then you have a list here. If you want 2-dimension, you just do 2-dimension like this. And then you could do multiplication and addition and so on. So if I say array 1 is equal to numpy.array, and then I just have a list of 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Now I have this one, and then A2 is going to be 2 other values. So this is 2 NumPy, but I'm going to have, again, same size. I'm going to say 4, 5, and then 6. So now if you say type of A1, it says A1 is a NumPy module. NumPy ND array and object class. And then similarly, A2 is there. So A1 will give you in that list, and A2 is an array of those lists. So A1 plus A2 will be array addition here you could do. And then if you change this operator to multiplication, you do multiplication of that one. And then you say division and just division. Mod, and that is return value, all right? So then you could say A1 to the power of 2, A1 to the power of 2. Now A1 was just that, and then to the power of 2 is 1 and 4, 9. A1 cubic, you could just say to the power of 3, and it's there. You could also say, for example, import a math, and then say, let's do it, import math as M. So I write short and say, okay, A1 M dot power of A1. So now this one it did not understand it. It says what is the POW expected to argument to argument. So I could say A1 comma A2. That one is not understood either. So I'm gonna say A1 A1 comma 2. So let's see. This case, I'm going to use help on m.pow to see what is the syntax. You can see here pow x comma y, x to the power of y. So since we don't have the value of them, we could say m.pow. Can we say A1 comma A2? For each number, it is going to take it. No, it did not. So let me just see. This one is A1. So if I say m.pow of 2 to the power of 10, that's going to return 1024. And this one returned 9. And then so A1 is that. And then we say A1 dot A1, say dir of A1, see what are the functions, and there's a lot of them. So sorted, sizes, shape it, sum. Okay, sum is, for example, for summation, and then pow max is returning the max and everything. So A1, if I say A1 dot sum, it just adds up those ones if I use it as a function. And you can see there of A1 integer. So A1 is this, and then they say sum of A1. Max of A1. Okay, np dot max max A1. No. So help np. Okay, so we know that the type of A1 is a NumPy array. And so if I say type A1, it is going to return a NumPy n-dimension array. Similarly for A2, what does that mean? If I say dir of A1, these are all the methods that I can call it on the double underscore. So some of them are maximum, minimum, variance, and product, and other ones. In order to get a list of them, so I could say A1, this is my array. A1 dot max should give me 3. And that is this value, 3. And then A1 dot minimum should give me 1. And that is giving me 1. And then A1 dot sum will just add up the numbers 1, 2, 3. The summation is 6. A 1 time product of it is also 6. And then a 2 product is bigger, 120, because a 2 itself, or a combination of these values, 4 times 5 times 6, that's 120. And then similarly, if I get a 2 dot minimum, I should get a 4, and that is there. If I want to assign it to x, I could say a 2 dot minimum is that one is going to return that value there. So similarly for a summation of them, you could say, give me the summation of this one dot sum, it will just do that. And then A2 is those three numbers, and then do that. A2 sub 0 is going to give me 4. A2 sub 1 is going to give me 5, and A2 sub 6 is there. And then, I'm sorry, A2 sub 3, because out of range. 2 is the last one value. A2 and then colon 2 will just return the values when I do that from the first to last one, not including the last one. If I just do this one and say 3, this is going to give me all the numbers there. Or if I just say this one will just give me that. But if I want to skip the first one, I could start only from the element 1 to the last one, then it's going to give me 5 and 6. If I want to skip the 1 to, the 2 to only get 6. This one is just also returning you 6 there. So depending on what you're looking for, these ones, and then multiplication, if you just create a 2-dimensional array on NumPy, I could say in A3 is more multiple arrays. I could say np.array, and then I could get a list of more than 1-dimensional array. So I could say 1, 2, 3 is 1, and then the next one is comma, and then another bracket. This is 2-dimension array. So I could say 4, 5, 6, and then close that one, and then that would just create it. Let me see. This is 1 dimension, and that one. Oh, you have to put this one in as an array method. So now it is there. A3 is there. Now you see type of A3, and type of A3 is a NumPy dimension. A3.length is just maybe the word length. Okay, A3.n size, num array size maybe. Okay, so help A3, and then you can see A3 has something with size. Dir of A3 will give you all the methods that are associated with A3, and then one of them is with size. So if you want to get the size of it, if you forgot the word size or something, and which one is it? Is it R size or something? So what you could do is say for CMD and A3, dir of A3, and then do F CMD and the string size. Let's see if it is there, then print it and say, this, and then this colon, then print it, print CMD. Let's see how many and the word size is matched there. Okay, size. So A3 dot size will just give you the size 6. This. So A3, you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements on it. And then The A sub A3 sub 1 will give you 4, 5, 6. But A sub 3 of 0 will give you that. And now if you want to just get the value of 6, you could say, give me the 0, 1, 2, 3. So this one is the first row, and then last item, which would be 0, 1, 2, and that will give you 6. And then if you want it like a 5, this would be 1, 1, 1. If you want the value 2, this will be 0. That's how you get those values. So I think you got the idea of this Python thing. So now you could say, you cannot say A1 times A3 because they're different dimension. Actually, because they're matrix multiplication, it does it with similar size there. And then if you say A3 to the power of A3, and that one is getting a bigger number. And then A3 to the power of A3 like this, then you see that there's a bigger number. And then a lot of these math function, you could say math dot m dot power 2 to the power of 100, and then it's get a bigger number. So if you just say 2 to the power of 5 is 32, it will just do it. But here, can you do 2 to the power of A1? Each number, it's going to, it does not find that when the linked array can be converted to Python scalar. So that is different than the way you do it. You have to do it within a for statement there. I'm gonna just finish this video because I need to sleep, and then I think we covered enough for the Python and everything there. I'm going to also show you for the alternative option here on the algorithm. So if you say update dash alternatives dash config, you can see here it says I need a name, whether it's Java or Python or something. It will tell you that, okay, all the list of priorities you can see here, 0 and 1 for the version of 3.14 with priority 1 for both of them. So if I say, yeah, that's good, I could also say, give me a list of it and see what I have here. And you see that it's 3.14. So if I say which Python 3 there, Python 3 dash version, it's going to, sorry, Python 3 dash version, it will just say 3.14 here. So right here, I'm on MyWebUniversity.com. If I exit out of here and I say, let's see MyWebUniversity.com here, response etc post os, here it is there. So if I say dig www.mywebuniversity.com, I get this value of 192.29. This is the local. So if I say that is great, let's see this one with at outside 8.8.8.8 trace back, and then it is giving me the public IP address. This is what it is. So if I say, okay, great, let's say Python 3, and then I say import request as just requests, and then I say R is equal requests dot get method, and then just type in the URL as HTTPS .myWebUniversity.com, and then just do that one. Now r.ok is yes, okay. r.url is going to return MyWebUniversity. Remember the other servers I was trying to connect, I was not getting the public IP, and from that one sometimes Certain ones, I just have to go from my server to the public IP address that I have, because I'm doing dynamic IP address with a static IP. So it's a lot of configuration there. And status underscore code is going to be returning to r.content is going to just return the content there. And then if I just want more information, like let's say port OS and os.system, put a screen, and then here I could say os.system, and then cat -n etc os-release. You can see I'm on a 1.26.04. So if I say go ahead and just do r.text to read the text, or just read the header first, headers with this, and you can see all the header information. r.url is MyWebUniversity, r.text is going to show you the text version of it there. And then type r, you can see it is a request modules response, and then dir of r. All of these methods are available for me. Raw, reasons, next, okay, JSON. So r.json, I don't have anything for JSON here. And then if I just do this one as method, it's not going to define because I haven't done it. But with Google or someone, I can go to the JSON there and then do some more work. So let me quit out of this one here. And then on this one, you can see pep list. You can see a lot of the modules I have it. And so pep list, egrep, extended global regular expression -i. If I say, do I have NumPy? Do I have Pandas? And do I have requests? Just to list a few of them, yeah, you could see all of them, the version there. Similarly, on this one, if I say pep list, everything is there installed. But then if I say pep list and then extended global regular expression, that's a Linux command -i. I could say pandas and then requests and then NumPy. So to just see, and those ones are installed, yes. Pandas is not installed. So I could say pep install pandas. And now Panda will be installed. Once it's installed, then I can see that the modules like up this command, and it will say all three of them. Since it is installed 2.33, I could say Python here, and then say import pandas as PD, and now PD is available. Dir of PD will show me all the pandas modules that I can do everything with them. At the same time, if I say help on pandas, you could see that all the methods and other magic method, everything that is there with pandas are right here. So you could do that one there. And then pd dot dash underscore version dash is going to tell you that one. So import Python, and then say import not Python, import NumPy as np, and np dot double underscore magic methods. Their version is going to say this one. If I say import OS and then say os.system, and then we do the same pep command, pep list, and then pipe egrep. You can do a grep -i uppercase extended global expression means. So you can say pandas and then pipe requests, pipe NumPy, and then close it, but close it with single quote. This one that will just return all three of them. And then now, if I want to get np dot double underscore version, will get the version there. And then if I say, show me the pandas pd dot double underscore version, because I installed it under pd, imported it as pd, it's that. And so request I did not do as R, so I have to say request dot and double underscore version, and then that will return the version requests. Okay, so import request. I don't think I imported on this session. That's why the version did not return, but now it shows 2.25 there. So there of request, for example, you can see all the methods that are available. I just checked on the version. You can check for the name to see what are the names. So like, and instead of dash dash version, you could say dash dash name, and then you get the name of it request. Similarly for NumPy, you could say in P, and then it will say NumPy. Similarly for Panda PD, because I created the alias PD, it will just say Pandas there. So a lot of these methods have a lot of double underscore magic method and other ones. You're welcome to practice them and enjoy them and learn them. God bless you all. I'm going to end this one. It's 12:02. I need to sleep. Have a great one. And please join our channel, subscribe to our channel, learn from it, and then use these resources to share with other ones. There's so many of them. Go to python.org website, go to MyWebUniversity, the main page, and then look at the videos on this one. Go to the version or English version or the direct path to Linux Ubuntu, and learn from all these courses and practice them here. And I don't know if I have one more objects here for Python that you can look at. Yeah, I think this is the PDF version that I told you. You can type in any of these ones and you can get the manual pages on them. So like this is a bigger list, 23 of them, but if you want to just get the Go language to learn and Go belt, so somewhere here, package, shell, database, C++, Pro, Ruby, and Node.js, Go language right here. So 7 of them you can see. If you click on this one, I generate you the on the fly Go belt and everything. So Go belt, Go format. So like if you want to see the format package, here's for C++, you use the IO stream, and for C you use standard IO to include it, and for input output for Go language you use the format package, and then that is a big this you could do go dot format dot print line and other ones to just get more information. And then on the chapters where I have format and other ones on Go language, let me show you some of them. Before I just say God bless you again, I just want to show you one more thing on Go language here. This is chapter 24. So if I just go on this one on the page, to say chapter 24.html, this is Go documentation. For every chapter that I have listed chapters, I can also get more documentation going to the details. So like, for example, how to compile and build Go language, you can see this one. For the format package to read in more details, you can see all the functions that are in the format module, and then print line and printf and all of that. All the variables that you could assign a string or integer or float, these are the copy examples that you can do that one there. And similarly for Python, you could do that one for every other one. Take care, have fun, and don't forget to like and subscribe and make some nice comments so I can spend more of my weekends to help you out. And God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.